We have a ton of great heroes in Asgard's Wrath 2 that each have really unique playstyles. You start with Abraxas, obviously, you've been introduced to him. We have Alvilda, who is a ranger who is kind of like this rogue assassin type character, and also Jehudi, who is an undead scribe. You quickly get introduced to Cyrene, who's your second playable hero. She's fully designed so that you can get a lot of distance between yourself and the other enemies and take them down pretty easily with her different, very cool living weapons. Because Cyrene's saga is all about balance and nature and restoring things, her floating weapons are these protean sea creatures. The first is the seething Jelix. So this is a jellyfish type creature that she can throw into an area and then it works as a turret. So it'll shoot out poison projectiles at anything that passes. If you have upgrades to your skill tree, you can also shoot a projectile at it from your harp and then it'll explode, causing a massive AoE damage on nearby enemies. Her harp, which is shaped like a squid, actually can change into a shield if you have it on its side. But if you have it with the harp and the strings facing upwards, you can use it not only as a musical instrument to communicate to other creatures to solve puzzles, you can also fire projectiles at enemies. Her last weapon is her protean sword. Whenever you pull the trigger to use the sword, it'll spit out its tongue that's lined with these fangs. So she has melee options if you need to, but that sword also functions like a grapple. With Cyrene, you can be fluid and quick as you're going through your combat sequences. I'm sitting in front of the shipwreck, where you first meet Subira. You use your godly powers to help her and also convert her into a warrior follower. Subira is an awesome combat companion. She's really nimble and fast. When I'm fighting in combat, she's just a shadow moving around the corners and taking out enemies one by one. Subira has this really unique ability called shadow shifting. So she can shift these stones called Kavuli stones that you'll find throughout the space and make them go in and out of existence. When these massive stones are blocking your paths forward, she can shift them so you can move straight through them and get to an area on the other side. There's a ton of really cool ways to use her abilities, and she is an integral companion in Asgard's Wrath 2. The next follower you meet is Pett, the Falcon. He's very loyal, constantly talks about how great you are and how great the god within you is, which is very contrary to Subira, who's just with you because you helped her a little bit. Pett is more of a defensive, healing character. He's not as strong a fighter as Subira, but he has the ability to heal you in a way that Subira can't. You can upgrade his skill tree so that he's more balanced towards being a healer, or you can upgrade some of his combat options so he's a better fighter. Where Subira uses a lot of her shadow abilities in her combat, Pett uses a ton of his whirlwind abilities. You'll see him jump high into the sky when he's bringing his spear down to his enemies, or moving swiftly around the space and can quickly come to your aid to heal you in your battles. With his special ability, he can summon these whirlwind blocks. Once you hop onto them, you can control them just with your joystick. You can reach new areas, you can set them on levers so that they open up new paths. His ability is really great for navigation in those spaces. We completely revamped our entire follower AI system. The maps in Asgard's Wrath 2 are so big, you're gonna need mounts to get around these spaces. With Subira, she can shift into this massive panther that you can just hop onto and ride across the desert on. And with Pett, he can switch into a bird that you can grapple to and soar around the maps with. You can also use skill points for your followers. So as you use skill points for them, they have different buffs, but they also can unlock different finishers for them too. Those will be unlocked through your skill tree as you go through the game. Each of these followers are aware of how you're moving about combat and how you're moving around the space, which makes them feel much more reactive to the enemies. We also have an inspiration system. So as you do things that inspire and invigorate your followers, that meter will fill up, and then you can use it to do one inspiration ability. With Subira, it's actually a shadow stepping ability, so she can shift both you and her out of reality so that you are temporarily invulnerable as you're in combat. With all these different characters in the shape of mortal heroes or followers, we really wanted to think about all these different variations so that you can really tailor your combat and your Asgard's Wrath experience to your own playstyle and to your own needs. I can't wait for you to explore them all this winter in Asgard's Wrath 2.